Welcome everybody to the Synapse Philosophy Group. We are jamming back at 1910, D.D. Palmer's The Chiropractor's Adjuster, The Science, Art, and Philosophy of Chiropractic by D.D. Palmer. We are on page 80, halfway down, third paragraph. D.D. has been talking, there's a suggestive therapeutics being added back into chiropractic from another chiropractor, and D.D. says, no way. This is what we're going on. Chiropractors adjust infants who are too young to comprehend suggestion, or perhaps old enough to get their backs up when we adjust their backbones. They adjust insane persons who have no comprehension of what we desire to do. They replace luxated vertebra, take off the pressure just the same, free the nerves from impingement, and allow them to perform their functions unmolested in a natural manner. I do not know whether we give suggestive therapeutics the place in chiropractic. This is in quotes. And it should be and must occupy.
That's what I think. That's what I think he's talking to Carver. That's a quote from the letter that he's responding to.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's responding to a letter from Carver who is sending to DD and wants to add it into the program. Such suggestions do not, such suggestions do not suggest to a chiropractor. They are like the tinkling of an empty tin can. He does not give it or any other therapeutic method a place in chiropractic. To do so would only be a hindrance to the wheels of progress. Advocates of other methods are just as much in earnest and equality as anxious, I just have to let in Mara.
Is this we're in the chiropractic adjuster, you said?
That's absolutely correct.
What page?
80. In the bottom paragraph. Hi, Mara. We're on the chiropractor's adjuster on page 80. Okay. Advocates of other methods are just as much in earnest and equally as anxious that I should use their favorite mode of treatment. I have looked the chiropractic adjustment rooms over and cannot find room for any other method. Nothing more is needed. That's powerful. Any remedy would be badly in the way, stumbling blocks to our students' advancement. No, thank you. I do not mix. I give chiropractic straight. I have that underlined and in bold. I'm happy. If it were mixed with other methods offered, it would soon lose its identity. This is where we are right now in chiropractic. Students who think that suggestion is or ought to be part of chiropractic have much trouble to rid themselves of the treating incubus. As those who believe in drugs or any other form of healing. As they learn chiropractic, they unlearn the treating of symptoms, as do other students who believe in homeopathy or other methods which use remedies for effort. Whenever what did I say? Effect, not effort, my mistake. Whenever a practitioner, whether it be a chiropractor or not, uses a remedy instead of hand adjusting, he does not know the cause of disease, or knowing it is unable to adjust the displacement. Do not forget that chiropractors do not treat diseases. They adjust the cause, whether acquired, spontaneous, or the result of accident. Whammo, D.D. Palmer. What do you guys think?
I got the chiropractic adjuster, a compilation of the writings of D.D. Palmer by his son, B.J. Palmer. Wrong book. Right?
No, that's it. Like page 80.
B.J. Palmer, this wasn't mentioned in the beginning. The compilation of writings for B.J. Palmer?
No, it says a compilation. Hold on. Excuse me. It says a compilation of writings of D.D. Palmer by his son, B.J. Palmer. And then it says
that's 1906.
1921.
1921. Yeah, so that's different. This is 1910 in the Chiropractor's Adjuster. That statement that I just read, everyone, is Dee Palmer laying down the law. The more we sully chiropractic, the less power it has. Now, go ahead.
What page are we on?
80 and 81.
Thank you.
I don't have that.
I think I emailed it to you in the past. Maybe search your emails for it. Just search for 1910.
Okay.
So the power, I give chiropractic straight. That's where straight chiropractic came from. Now chiropractors are shamed and not allowed to say that without feeling shaming from other people. Chiropractors that mix things have taken that role of, just like everyone else, shaming someone for what they believe in. And I think that's unfair. That's what I get right now and what I believe. And I stand firm on that. You're allowed to do what you want. Don't shame me in doing what I want to do. So chiropractic, to save chiropractic, we need to straighten it out, if you ask me. And that is my rant, and I'm sticking to it.
I don't think you're getting any disagreements here.
Anybody have any input there? I shall continue then.
I love the phrase, rid themselves of the treating incubus.
I love that. Rid themselves of the treating incubus. Let's just go for a moment of what treatment means. We treat a disease or malfunction. We treat a sickness. We care for the person as a chiropractor. The sickness-minded treat the sickness. The vitalistic mind, the chiropractically minded, care for the person, and the body heals itself. That's the difference in the understanding of chiropractic philosophy in a basic nutshell. Anybody have any input? Anyone, any clarity? Mara, it's so good to have you back. We haven't seen you in a little while. I'm happy to see you on here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have you graduated now?
No, I graduated in March.
Congratulations. That's so awesome.
I was actually yesterday nominated for the Philosophy Award.
Wow.
Yes.
Cool.
Fantastic. At Palmer, Florida, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so awesome. Congratulations. I'm happy of that. Next time you come on, if you get a plaque, you got to show it to us all, okay? I am happy for you.
Thank you.
Maria, I don't know if you've been on here before, but welcome.
Hello. Thanks for the
Awesome.
presentation. I'm practicing in Mexico. I'm interested for share for philosophy. This is an incredible opportunity for me.
I'm very happy to have you. We're all happy you joined in. We've had a lot of people from Mexico come in. We're happy to have you.
Thanks.
So we're reading Dee Palmer's book from 1910, okay? And what we do is we read them and then we discuss it, okay? Right now, Dee Palmer is saying chiropractic as one thing, straight and narrow, adjusting subluxations and helping people transform their lives. Okay. I'm going to just read this last sentence again. Chiropractors, do not forget that chiropractors do not treat diseases. They adjust causes, whether acquired, spontaneous, or the result of an accident. Many have written me, others have personally insisted that their scientific system is a necessary companion to adjusting and ought to be taken in part of it as chiropractic. Now, friend Carver, you need not spend any time trying to get up any matrimonial alliance either for chiropractic or adjusting. They're only 15 years of age, and I am their guardian. I love that. They shall not take any foreigner as a partner, for they are wholly different in their natures. Now, this is where I have this marked. Such a co-partnership would be incongruous, inharmonious, incompatible would result in retrogression instead of advancement. That is power. The more we add to something, if you have a bucket of bleach and you add 20 gallons of pure water to it, you diluted that bleach. Chiropractic's the same way. Maria, I think I have a PDF of this book. It's in English. I can send this to you if you would like.
Yeah, I understand. I'm lost sometimes, but I really understand.
You get it.
At the moment. Yeah.
Later you get your email, and then I'll send you a copy of the book. Okay? And okay. I have no idea of no idea of allowing chiropractic or adjusting to give up their individuality. Chiropractic has no room or use for mistreatment, neither an adjustment, any need of being hampered by misremedy. I love that. These girls of fashion change their clothing to suit their suitor. They are not only they would only annoy my kids. Chiropractic and adjustment are inseparable. They desire no other company. I got to mark that right there as an important statement.
It's a cute analogy.
I love it. I might have to put that as a post tomorrow.
For those of you who are not looking at the words, it's misremedy, as in MISS, like a single woman, and where's the other one? Mistreatment and misremedy, as if it's two girls. And he's talking about chiropractic as being his kids and being too young to be hooking up with anybody.
I love it. And this is our baby.
What page are we on?
Page 81.
All right, I got it now.
Excellent.
D.D. Palmer handed us his child. We've been given a sacred trust, guard it well. Right? B.J. Palmer said that. That sacred trust, I always say, guard it well and share it well. So we're on a precipice right now. You can see how passionate I get when I get to Didi. Didi excites me because he is no holds barred. It is my way or the highway. What we need is more people like this. I know very principled people that are very powerful that give in when it's about straight and mixing or straightening out chiropractic. Let's not rock the boat. I'm ready to flip the boat over because we're losing it. And people don't want us to adjust people. They want to get rid of chiropractors and be purely therapeutic. And it's time to go to war. We don't even know we're getting beat up, but we're in the middle of a fight and we're losing. It's time to really stand up for who we are and what we believe in as chiropractors. So Maria, what part of Mexico are you in?
I practice in Mexico, center of the Mexico.
The center of Mexico City?
Yeah, for the university in Toluca.
In Toluca?
Yeah.
Did you see me when I came to Toluca and I spoke in Toluca?
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I love Toluca. I love Mexico. I had so much fun at that. I've been now there a couple of times, and we'll be back when COVID is calmer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So as chiropractic is going around the world, Mexico, chiropractic is very strong. And lives are changing in Mexico, and the chiropractors are really standing up for the principles of chiropractic. And I know that, Maria and everyone else. We in the United States need to be stronger in who we are as chiropractors. This is D.D. Palmer saying, I've got your back. This is what it is. I'm laying it out here. You are powerful. Stand up for yourself. That's the way I read it, but that's the way I like to read into things. Anybody have any input? Want to say anything?
Really interesting how it says that chiropractic and adjustment is inseparable when you have schools out here in the US that don't even teach adjustments.
It's mind-boggling to me.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely mind-boggling. Okay? I don't understand it. None of them have read this book, I almost guarantee it. Okay. What happened with this book? It was obscure, and it wasn't until the 1940s that it came back. They found a copy and started reprinting it because BJ tried to suppress it, and it came back into vogue in the 1940s. And Todd Waters had me read the book review for it when it came out in like 1948 or something. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Anybody else?
Haig,
Yeah.
can we jump back up to the paragraph above? He says, whenever a practitioner, whether he be a chiropractor or not, uses a remedy instead of hand adjusting, he
Where's
doesn't know the cause of disease, or knowing it is not able to adjust the displacements. Do
That on
not
page-
forget. So
Top of
What
81.
what page are you on there?
Top
I'm
of
on
81.
81. It's just the paragraph above, right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down. Whenever
Now,
a practitioner.
What
Oh,
I was
okay.
gonna waiting for somebody to mention this, practitioner, chiropractor or not.
Wow.
What does he mean by that?
He literally says if you do anything but hand adjust, you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know the cause of disease.
And even
What
if you
you're
do
doing
know
is
the
fighting
cause,
the
you
disease.
can't do anything about it.
So that goes right back to you're trying to fight the disease instead of help the person get stronger to fight it themselves. I can't cure
Basically,
you.
no other way.
You're cure yourself. There's no other way. Whammo. Now, right after this, once we get to page 83, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Chiropractic links the spiritual with the material, where everyone says he never said that. It's right here on page 83, but we haven't gotten there yet.
You know, in all fairness, this was written in 1906.
Right?
Right. So he's basically, this is probably him writing this in 1904, 1905, or maybe even 1899.
So what?
So what he's basically saying is, if the person's not using their hand and they're doing some type of, voodoo or medicine or something other, but he's not taking into consideration atlas, orthogonal equipment, activator equipment, BGI. He's basically saying this is the beginning. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. That is the development of technique and the approach of adjusting the vertebra.
Right.
I would say now, okay, good, Maria, I got that. I would say now that in the past myself, I have to say, an instrument is an extension of us. Would everybody agree? Like an activator. I heard someone say when we were at Life, actually, they were at one of our assemblies. She said, I adjust through my activator. It's not the activator that does the adjustment. I adjust through it. And that, in a way, almost changed my life at that moment. I'm like, I get, I was a student. So yes, I follow you. Anybody else like to add to?
Yeah, I think you have to be careful when you say what it says here is whenever a practitioner, whether he be a chiropractor or not, uses and it's important here, uses a remedy instead of hand adjusting. So he does not know the cause of disease, or knowing it is not able to adjust the displacements. He's saying, what I hear there is, even if you are using hands on and you're using it as a remedy or a treatment for a symptom, you don't understand the cause and you're not going to be successful in what we're trying to do here and what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Alan.
The key word there is remedy.
I agree.
The remedy, not the hand adjusting.
Right.
Because he's saying even if you're doing hands-on and you're using it as a remedy, not so good.
Yeah, I also thought, like, just to take it back, even if you're not a chiropractor, like any practitioner, medical doctor or anybody, if you're doing anything other than hand adjusting, you don't know the cause.
Yeah, because you're trying to treat the symptoms. You're trying to
Yeah.
treat the disease
Exactly.
instead of bringing health to that person for them to fight it themselves. So I think that's very, very poignant and important. It's important for us to realize that. And, you know, we really have been giving something wonderful and preserving it. Anyone else? Logan, you want more insight? You got
Nothing
anything
more
else?
powerful than the adjustment.
Nothing is more powerful than that adjustment. Now, I think going back to what Dave was saying, you know, nowadays maybe using activator or torque release. Okay, well, we're still, the intention is the same. Allow that subluxation to be clear, and then the body is more powerful to heal itself. To me, I say spirit, God is able to, our innate is clearer to be able to do its job more efficiently through matter. Okay. Anybody else?
I was primarily an instrument adjusting. You know, I did other stuff. I did Thompson, I did Toggle, I did other stuff, but primarily towards the end, I was doing instrument adjusting, and I was using primarily a torque release instrument, the integrator. But I had learned, well, and part of it was through Steve Hoffman's MC2 work, that you know, I always biotoned. I felt for the exact angle I wanted to have that instrument addressing where I wanted the force to go in. And using the torque release instrument, you could put in the angle force, but also torque, which is integral. You know, we find as time goes on that the torque is also integral, which is what that integrator instrument allows us to do. And so that's, you know, so as you said earlier, I felt like the adjustment was coming through the instrument, from me through the instrument, and was able to apply a more persistent and consistent application of what I wanted to apply for that particular practice member or that was in front of me at that moment.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. And, you know, it's not necessarily by hand is what they knew. You know, they were using hammer, you know, is hammer and a bang, you know, we're doing things like that. I don't want anybody to do that to me. You know?
Not so much.
You know, Dee was saying we're using the spinuses as a lever, the first ones to use the spinous as a lever. We don't need hammers. But, you know, when we use an instrument, that instrument is a very valid, I believe that is, you know, as powerful as hand adjusting. So that's not really the point of this one, though. It's really the difference of treating the disease or caring for the person. That's the big, I feel the significance of it.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Well, we should move forward. Okay. I got to tell you, I'm so happy to be back with Dee. I love reading Dee Palmer. I do. Yes, sir. The discoverer and developer of chiropractic has demonstrated that he has freedom and intelligence. Those are in parentheses, and I believe that's from Carver. Right. Enough to find his way out of therapeutics and has no longing for any of its remedies. My time is being used in discovering the cause of disease and developing a method of relief. Causes of disease, then adjusting therefore, has been neglected far too long in the vain hope of discovering an antidote, a remedy for the disorders of mankind. Please excuse me, I am in a hurry. I do not want to be delayed by any other method that treats disease, either mentally or physically. I am searching for causes and their adjustment. I have no time to waste on parasites. He just said, stay away from my precious being, chiropractic. I ain't got no time for you, is what Dee basically is saying. Okay, you seem to think that chiropractic and suggestion, now he's talking about suggestive therapies, whatever you want to call it, and are impressionable twins. Such coalition would be incongruous. It would be the uniting of two opposites, two adverse methods, which are antagonistic, hilarious, two contradictories, two propositions which are diametrically opposed to each other in thought and action. They would be, say that word.
Antithetical.
Antithetical. You tell me what that word means. In contrast, suggestion we be counter-irritant into adjusting. Either would be repugnant to the other. The uniting of the two opposites would not help, but discordant. So this is where I don't need to repeat what he's saying over and over again, but their characteristic. So what we're really talking about is chiropractic doesn't need anybody else to dilute it. Okay. Now, how do you guys feel? You feel happy to be back in D.D. Palmer?
Antithetical is directly opposed or contrasted, mutually incompatible. People whose religious beliefs are antithetical to mine, to contrary.
Thank you, Dave. I love that. I love that.
I think the word there is actually is a typo, the way it's in the book here.
So it's not just me.
No, that one wasn't just you. That one I think is just a typo. But there was a lot of big words that make it hard for you.
You know, I like small words. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's an E missing there. Antithetical.
Yeah.
Well, let's put this point to rest because it's important, right? We do not need to sully chiropractic. It is strong on its own. And the more powerful we are speaking our words of truth and to the ears that are waiting to hear it. You know, Logan, he's my intern right now, and we had a man who called himself Superman. I've been Superman my whole life, 5'9", I could dunk baskets. I've been bench pressing 400 pounds. And then he tells me, you know, he's thinking of killing himself. He's saying it out in the hallway because, you know, he's been in pain and he can't heal. And we gave him an adjustment and he started crying and he hugged me. And, you know, what do we have? We saved this man's life and his entire family and everybody that's ever known him their life is affected by that. If he was to take his life, but thank the Lord that he found chiropractic and I was able to adjust him from the teachings that I received from D.D. Palmer all the way down to everyone else, to everyone on this, the trickle-down effect to save these people's lives. It wasn't a pill or a vitamin or a probiotic. It was a chiropractic adjustment, period. So we have something so powerful that we're too afraid to see it. And I think that's the big part of it. What do you guys think?
I think that we've allowed our core to be corrupted by people that are so interested in living only in the world of science that they don't understand the value of what we have. That science is part of what we do. And when we find things that validate us, and science constantly is one of my themes, I know I've repeated over and over on this, but it bears repeating, that science is constantly growing and validating things that Didi and BJ said, you know, as long as over 100 years ago, you know, and the science is fine. It's fine when it validates what we do, but it doesn't mean that we need to be doing all the other stuff that science says works. That's, you know, if people want to use that as well as what we do, that's fine. I used to say to people all the time, it's not when I was at Sherman, we were taught not to refer people, but to say, this is what I can do. You may want to see somebody else, and, you know, like an orthopedist or a physical therapist, and let them make the choice, because it's their choice to go to another doctor. I said, I can do things for you. I've seen this with lots of folks. I'm not going to promise you it's going to work for you because you're different from everybody else I've ever seen, but I've helped people like you before, and I'd love to have the opportunity to help you. And you might want to see an orthopedist for this as well. That doesn't mean that when I saw, you know, some hugely degenerated bone, I didn't say, go see this guy, go see an orthopedist as well, but come and see me and let me help you where I can. Because I had people with things like that got better.
Yeah.
I had a guy came in with a cane and I took his x-rays and he had a totally degenerated, iliofemoral joint. I said, you're going to need to see somebody, I'm talking about his x-rays. I gave him his report of findings. I said, I would recommend you see an orthopedist. And I adjusted him and he got off the table and walked out of the room without the cane.
I love that. Yeah.
His wife is a black guy and his wife was out in the reception area. And I thought I was having a revival. She's crying and screaming and, oh my God, he's healed, all that stuff. I didn't adjust that hip.
Yeah.
I didn't adjust the iliofemoral joint. I adjusted his spine and things changed.
Yeah.
Science says there's lots of valid stuff there. We have our own art that reconnects the body with itself and with the power without and the power within. The adjustment connects the power without with the power within, the universal with the innate, and allows healing to happen. And however you want to deal with that, whether you want to call it God and soul, whether you want to call it Allah, whether you want whatever names you use in your religion, it's interesting reading things by Thich Nhat Hanh. He talks about Buddha and God, Buddha and Jesus. He talks about both of them often in the same sentence and says, you can call it Buddha, you can call it Jesus, because it's all the same. It's the universal intelligence that's involved here. The innate is part of that. That's within each of us. Amen. That's the end for me. I'm sorry.
Amen. No, absolutely. It was poignant. One thing about medical science is research for sales. It's not research for health. It's for a new product. It's not research in body function. You realize that's what medical science is for sales. So we're doing science really in the science of this body, this beautiful material we live in, not the effects of what I put into it, which, my friend Arno, he used to say we have 10,000 years of history of people making poultices and potions, and people have only gotten sicker. It hasn't worked. When are we going to learn that lesson? It's obvious it hasn't worked. We're the sickest people ever to live on the face of this planet. So chiropractic is a gift. If it's only chiropractors that survive all this, so be it. I wouldn't mind being around chiropractors the rest of my life.
I'd like to.
I know that's terrible to say.
I'd like to add in, chiropractors practice science every single day. Like Alan was just talking about, someone comes in, we create a hypothesis. I believe we can help you. I believe it's going to take this long. We observe them, right? It's the scientific method. We practice science every single day. We apply the trial of adjusting certain bones, and then, then there's the conclusion. And it's something we practice every single day. Yeah. Science isn't what comes out of those journals, like you said, Haig, and that's huge clarity for me. It's literally about sales. But the science of chiropractic is practiced with every person we see. It's part of the art. It's part of the philosophy. It can't be without it.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. What
happened
today?
That's the thing with students, and they say, and somebody recently, I think Danny Knowles he puts a lot of good questions up for people to respond to. And one was recently, was talking about art. And art is something that you learn in school. You learn technique. You learn the basics. And then every person you touch, you learn from. Every person you touch, you learn from. And after adjusting thousands of people, you finally have a level of art to what you do. And it takes time, and it's not that you're not good when you know a technique, but the art is learning to apply it and adapt it for each individual. There was Jim Gudgel was one of the instructors for Activator, and I attended a number of seminars with them and was certified by them. And and Jim says in one of the seminars, he says, what we tell you here is see this, do this. But what you have to do is see this, understand why we said to do it that way, and then adjust what you find.
Absolutely. This is all very poignant stuff. Thank you, Alan. That's right on target. That school is so little about chiropractic now. And there is so little chiropractic. You have a few classes. The first quarter you have philosophy, and that's it. Most of it is diagnosis and therapeutics, really. Who cares about the Krebs cycle? It's interesting, but what in the world does it have to do with chiropractic? I understand ATP, okay, but what does it have to do with chiropractic? Give me the information after an adjustment and how the brain and body are more connected to create a better pathway to produce energy. I understand it better that way because I'm a chiropractor. So we're touching.
We had I don't know how much of this there is still in the schools, and but a lot of the people that were teaching us when I was at Sherman in Life were chiropractors.
The CCE pushed that out while I was in school and Dave was in school, and now the people teaching sciences have to be PhDs, and they're usually the bottom of the barrel, I have to say, and I have no idea what chiropractic is.
One of my favorites was Dr. Millman, who was an X-ray, who taught radiology, and he would explain to us, when we talked about knife clasp deformity, he showed it to us. He said, "This is an innate adaptation. This is, it's a protection. The way it works this way, it's open here, and the other one's longer, and it protects it as if it would have been closed. But he would talk about things in terms of chiropractic." On what we're finding on radiology and abnormalities. And in other classes, it was similar things. Other instructors would do it in other classes as well. And unfortunately, that's lost now, to allow people to understand how the science relates to what we do.
It is a methodical destruction of chiropractic by the CCE. They forced that to happen. And it is a demise. It is the beginning to the end. It is a horrendous thing, and that is why I fought the CCE since day one of me being
what we affectionately call the cartel.
Now they're the cartel. That is why we have to stand strong together around the world, in Mexico, Brazil, wherever we are on this planet, standing strong for chiropractic. And I see chiropractic in South America and Mexico being the strongest in the world right now. I see it, and I'm really, really happy. Let's see, who is this from? From Maria. Separating the philosophy from the science, exactly. And that was why they did it. We have to have PhDs. I for a short period, I left life and went to Cleveland and Los Angeles. And the reason I started outlining this book is because I was outlining it and giving it to all the teachers that had never learned any chiropractic before. And I kept putting it in their boxes until they said, "Hey, stop it." And I said, "Well, have you read any of it?" And they're like, "Oh, you want me to read it?" And you just want to choke them, Yes. And then they started teaching differently. And I tell you, I saw it immediately. But it's up to us. The students are more powerful. You realize students are powerful. We're here to empower you to go out and preach to the people that think they know everything. Okay. So I love you guys. It's 8:49. We're going to end now. We're going to be picking up back on page 83. I have stopped right after I'm 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph. The rest are a little bit of just quotes. Okay. And I am so excited to have everybody here. Maria, I'm going to send you this book in PDF. Okay. And what I do is we have some of these also with Spanish translations in the past of D.D. Palmer. And what we can do is maybe you can help me find somebody in Mexico that can do subtitles to these on YouTube. And then we can also share them in Mexico and, all of South America too. Does that sound like a good thing? We can talk.
Thanks.
Awesome. Anybody else have anything else?
Thank you.
Woo! Thank you all for being here.
I love it. I feel like we're back on track with Dee Palmer, and it is awesome. Okay. Next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. We're here Tuesdays. And forgive me, Maria, it's 7:50 in Mexico, correct? Okay, so I have the time right. And then Mara, I'm so happy to see your face again. I'm so happy you're doing well. You have the philosophy. You were nominated for the philosophy award, is that right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll get it because you deserve it. And you can stop by our office. You're not far away too. And Logan's in my office right now. All right. Everybody, I love and appreciate you. You are absolutely awesome. I'm stoked to be with you, and you're all my friends, and I'm happy about it. All right. Arrivederci. And January 29th, we're doing innate adjusting. This is called Level Up at Life University. So I'm just giving a little plug for that right now. Okay. Love and appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Good night.
Okay.
Thanks. See you.